The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Tuesday, the 18th day of February, 2025. Happy Election Day to all, and welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour, brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. I'm Jamel Hartman. She's Mia Chambray, and Simone Vaughn will be with us in a bit to bring the latest in the news break, brought to you by People's Folks. Polls are open. Yeah, baby.
Woo!
Says happy election day, Bermuda. We've got David Michael Wilson. Happy election day. Your voice, your vote, you matter what is it.
Love that.
Mia, it's election day.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it happened on a terrific Tuesday.
Mm.
Said, oh my gosh, Jamal, I'm with you on election day. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. This is my first election day with the TDH family.
Yeah. Look, polls are open, folks. Polls opened 2 minutes ago. So we're going to have some fun today. I know this is 6 weeks of stress. You know, it's been a journey to get here. It's been a journey. A lot of conversations with FDM, OBA, independent candidates.
Yes.
And now it's the day.
Today's the day. It's kind of like your wedding day. Just
Yeah.
like, okay, we're here. Let's do this.
It's the day. So greetings, everyone. And thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we make our election predictions with all of you. The daily play is a remember when. All right. Don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. And folks, as we jump right into it, this daily discussion is brought to you by our friends. Well, I'll let them tell you.
The daily discussion is brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Visit TitanEXBDA.com, your leading tour and transport provider specializing in Black History tours throughout the island. And SecureBDA.com for all your property management, waste management, residential, and commercial trucking needs. Professional, punctual, and reliable service is our commitment to you.
All right, big up to our friends over at Titan Tours and Secure Trucking. Appreciate their support, ensuring that we can have these conversations with you on a daily basis. How is everyone feeling, though? We've got Suzanne Ingham says, awesome voting day, Jamel, Mia, and Simone. The day is here.
Woo!
And Trot says, happy election day, Bermuda. And we've got it. He also says, we'll be tuning in with TDH later as well. You know, we're excited about tonight. We've got, I know Dr. Brown and Patricia Gordon-Pamplin and John Barrett and Taj and the TDH team is excited to engage. But we have a big announcement for you. We have a little announcement. So not only will we be streaming on Channel 82 and all of our social media platforms, but we are actually going to be streaming on the Royal Gazette as well. So, you know, we will be available everywhere you have an opportunity to watch. All right. So big up to the Royal Gazette for appreciating what we do and partnering with us for that, as well as Crimson and Channel 82. We appreciate the partnership, and it makes so much sense. But this morning, before we get there, we're going to do something, all right? As a group, as a team, we're going to do something.
Okay.
We're going to do something. Audience, help Mia and myself out. I should have bought Simone in for this as well. But all right, here we go. So let's work on this sheet. Let's come up with the daily hours predictions. Audience, this is on all of us. Let's start with constituency number 1. This is about not who we want to win,
Right.
but who do we think is going to win based on our own knowledge. And our knowledge may differ, but we're going to go with the majority. All right, so let's start with constituency 1. St.
Okay.
George, James Perry for the One Bermuda Alliance, Renee Ming, PLP, Harry Matthew, Independent. What are your thoughts, audience? What are your thoughts, Mia?
I think Renee Ming. Who do you think, Jamal?
Renee Ming. I think Ming. Let's go to the audience. David Michael Wilson says Ming. Kenton Trot says Ming. We've got Renee NTS. All right. Renee Ming says Michelle White. So I think it's Renee. Suzanne Ingham has a question. She says, I don't have a TV, so how do I watch you? We'll still be here tonight. We'll still be here on Facebook and everything else, but we'll be other places as well. So you will get to see us.
Yes.
We're on the World Gazette website as well. All right. So Renee Ming, let's go with Renee Ming. Let's give Renee. So that's 1.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on, folks. So we've got in St. George West, we've got Thomas Harvey of the OBA, Kim from PLP, Tiffany Painter Independent, Quentin Sherlock FDM. Who are we going with in number 2, folks? Renee Ming seemed like a consensus. Who are we going with in number 2? What are your thoughts, audience? Okay.
Let's see. I know I'm not the audience, but I think Tiffany Painter is very strong. Although I think this C2 has a lot of really strong candidates, but I think Tiffany Painter. What about you, Jamal?
Okay. I think she has. I mean, Kim Swan did win by quite a lot in the last election. And I just want to go back to the general election. And I know people don't like to. Oh, they don't have it up anymore, huh? 20. All right. Well, anyway, we've got 11 hours, 52 minutes to the polls close, according to the website. All right. So we've got.
Let's see what everybody.
Tiffany Painter. Swan. Swan says Swan.
Okay.
Would that have something to do with the Swan name, Hedeline? Says Michelle White. Painter says Nicole Hassel. Sherlock says Aaron Scott. Painter says WKD Lama. Painter says. All right. So it looks like Painter. We're going to go to the audience. All right. All right. So that's 1 independent, 1 PLP. Let's go with St. David's. St. David's, we've got Maurice Foley, OBA, in number 3. We've got Levita Fogo, PLP, Shakara Richardson, FDM. Well, Cameron Fox is out, but who do we got with that? Number 3, folks. C3.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to go for the audience for this one. I don't actually know. I don't know. You know who to choose.
Based on history, Levita Fogo. I would say Levita Fogo. David Michael Wilson says Fogo. Kenton Trot says Fogo. Sean Smith, Fogo. WKD Lama, Fogo. Michelle White, Fogo. So, all right. I think it's a consensus. Let's go with Levita Fogo. So that's PLP, I think, 2. All right. Let's move over to St. George, P4. St. George's South. We've got Clifton Lambert and Tanae Furbert. Who we going with? I mean, I just can't see how Minister Furbert loses that, to be honest. Who you going with, audience?
Yeah, I agree.
Who you going with? Clifton Lambert of the OBA or Tanae Furbert, PLP? We've got Todd from Waterbridge says Furbert. We've got Sheldon Fox says Furbert. Oh, we've got David Michael Wilson says Lambert. Furbert says Kenton. Headley and Swan says Furbert. Michelle White, Furbert. Aaron Scott, Furbert. Okay, so I think Furbert's a consensus. I think. All right, so the PLP is rolling right now in the East. All right, we've got Hamilton East. We've got Lateef Trott, OBA, Desmond Crockle, FDM, and Leroy B and PLP. What do you got? What do you got?
I like the look of Lateef for this one. Lateef Trott, OBA.
Okay.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's been doing some great work in the community, and I like his style. I like Lateef Trott for C5. Okay.
All right, we've got Trot. Well, let's go to the audience. We've got Crockle. Aaron Scott says Crockle, NC5. We've got Bean, David Michael Wilson. We've got Crockle, Kenton Trot.
Oh, wow.
Bean, Headley, and Swan. Crockle, says Nicole. So we've got what? So this is interesting. We've got Bean, Sean Smith. Bean will win. Crockle, says Suzanne Ingham. Crockle, Jody Eve, Latish Trot, Polly Rich. I think this is a tight one.
I think so too.
But I can't see how Bean loses this. This has been such a strong, like, I don't see how Bean loses this. Toss, but Bean, Ronda Johnson. What does that mean? Toss.
It's a toss-up between Desmond and.
Okay, got you. Okay, I think it's tight, but I think I'll go with Ronda. She says Bean. Toss up. So I'll say Bean. All right, PLP's ready. C6, Joseph Marlborough, OBA, and Wayne Ferbert, PLP.
Wow. I think Wayne Ferbert. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see Wayne Ferbert losing. I mean, he's the consummate politician. I mean, he doesn't lose. He simply doesn't lose, regardless of party. I think, yeah, everyone's got Ferbert. David Michael Wilson, Rhonda Johnson, Michelle White, Adeline Swan, Taj Donville won't even be close. Wayne Ferbert, yeah. Okay, so I think Wayne singing Ferbert. You're silly. All right, so
yeah, I think
we've got 5 PLP, 0 OBA, 0 FDM, 1 independent. Okay, so let's go down. We've got Hamilton South, folks. We've got Robert Tucker, OBA, Anthony Richardson, PLP, and Iman Gibbons, independent. What are your thoughts on this one, folks?
I think I know Robin Tucker. I think Robin Tucker. I think she was very close in the last election. It was quite a tight margin. I think she didn't have really a lot of time as watching your conversation with her. So I believe that she's been doing the work. So I think Robin Tucker.
Okay, let's go to the audience. We've got Rhonda Johnson says Richardson.
Okay.
David Michael Wilson says Tucker. Tucker for OBA says Dodge. Gibbons says Nicole Hassel. Richardson, Alien Swan. Tucker, Aaron Scott. Tucker, Suzanne Ingham. Robin Tucker, Polly Rich. C7 Richardson. So I think the consensus is Tucker there. Okay.
Yeah, Tucker.
So the OBA steals one. That's the first one they've stolen.
Okay.
The OBA steals one. So they got their first in here. All right. C8, Ben Smith and Lauren Bell. Who you got, audience? Who you got? Ben Smith?
I'm gonna let you take this one, Jamel. Who do you think C8?
I mean, it's a no-brainer. I don't. I mean, audience, who you got?
Who do we think, audience? Ben. Okay. Oh, let's see.
Oh, we got a Bell. WKD Llama says Bell.
Oh wow. Okay.
Ben says Sean Smith. Sorry. Nicole Hassel says Ben Smith. We've got Smith. Michelle White. Okay.
Okay.
Todd says Ben Smith, and not even close. Smith, Rhonda Johnson. Okay, so let's just go. We know that's an obvious one. All right, it's an interesting one here.
Ooh.
We've got C9 Smith's West, folks. C9 Smith's West. Shamari Talbot Woolrich, Vance Campbell, Dwight Jackson. Now, this one, Vance Campbell can do what Wayne Ferbert has done and Kim Swan, right? They've won a seat with more than one party. Can Campbell retain that, or will youth reign supreme in this constituency? What are your thoughts, audience? C9. This is no longer a stronghold of one party. Kenton Trott says Talbot Woolrich. Okay. We've got Campbell Aaron Scott. Okay. Campbell NTS. Woolrich. Okay, says Michael Wilson. We've got Vance will hold it, says Todd. Dwight Jackson. Okay. All right. So Campbell, Sheldon Fox, Vance. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna go with Campbell. I think the consensus is Campbell. All right. Okay, it's picking up some ground. Right. They've got 3 now.
By the way, this is amazing, and everybody, thank you for interacting. This is such an amazing. I didn't know this was happening today on the show. This interactive is so exciting.
Let's give props to Amari Simons. Amari did this. He's
shout out to Amari. This is awesome.
Let's go to C10, folks. What do you got? C10. We've got Lindsay Simmons, PLP, Sir John Swan, Independent, and Robert King, OBA. What are your thoughts? We just had a by-election in this constituency about 10 months ago. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I got in trouble last time I talked about this, so I'm gonna.
What are your thoughts, audience? Sir John?
What are your thoughts, everybody?
Anton Trott says Sir John. Simmons will be close. David Michael Wilson says Sir John. There goes Adeline Swan again with her swans. I'm getting a consensus. The swan thing. We've got Nicole Hassel says Sir John, the great swan. Simmons says WKD Llama. King will hold it, but will be close. Michelle White is King. Aaron Scott is King. Holly Rich says King. Swan says Sheldon Fox. King says Robert. Says NTS. Sir John. King Rhonda Johnson. Sir John. So
wow.
Thinking Sir John or King?
I think it's going to be very close.
It seems like I think it's going to be King, but the audience seems like they're going to Sir John.
I agree.
All right, so let's put Sir John in there.
Sir John, okay.
Okay. Wow. You all think I personally think Robert King.
Same.
I only because of how the by-election went. Okay.
Okay.
We move on to C11.
Hey.
Mr. Community PLP Chris Famous. We've got, how do you pronounce that? Is it Jeffrey Fiala?
Jeffrey Fiala, yep.
NBA and Wayne Maurice Williams Independent. Who you got? I don't see Chris Famous losing. I just don't. I can't see him losing. What are your thoughts, Mia?
I mean, I don't actually know. I think this could be a mixed bag. Well, but I do think I don't actually know.
All right. Well, we've got Kenton Trott, famous by a country mile. Sheldon Fox, famous. Aaron Scott, famous. Jean Butterfield, famous, and it won't be close. Famous will hold, but it will be close.
I'm with Taj. I agree with you, Taj.
Okay. Thank you. Famous, this is a clean sweep, I think. Wayne Williams, Independent. Okay.
Oh.
Famous, Kathy M. Penner, and famous Rhonda Johnson. Okay, so now keep in mind, Chris Famous has made that a PLP seat. That seat was held by Bob Richards previous to the 2017 election. All right, C12, folks. C12. We've got Craig Canaire, OBA, Andre Q. Famous, PLP, Marilyn Steed, Independent, and Mr. Weeks, Independent. What are your thoughts on this one? I can't see Craig Canaire losing this.
Yeah, I agree. I think Craig Canaire definitely will sweep this.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? Do you have Craig Canaire winning this? Yep, we've got CC Sheldon Fox, we've got CC Rhonda Johnson, Taj Dunvalder, Canaire won't be close. Craig says Sean Smith, we've got Craig. Yeah, I think everyone's settled on this. So let's go Canaire. All right.
Canaire.
13. Oh, this is one. C13 audience.
Ooh.
Yellow Ribbon, the education minister. The Yellow Ribbon, Charlie Swan, OBA, and Renee Tarini Webb, Independent. Where do you stand?
I stand with Renee Tarini Webb, personally.
Mia, I think Renee Webb is gonna pull this off.
I think she is. I think Renee. I really have a strong feeling about Renee.
Yeah, I think
appreciate the other two, but I think
Kenton Trott is saying Renee Webb. We've got Webb, David Michael Wilson, Webb, Tiffany Medeiros, Sean Smith, Webb, Nicole Hassel, Renee Webb, please win. Wow, Renee, we can do this. Webb, Henley and Swan, Webb, White, Webb, Dejan Butterfield, Webb will win, but will be close. Wow, no. Wow. Okay, let's put into context.
Yes.
This is wow.
This is wow.
Okay, Rhonda Johnson says Raban will keep it. Okay. So let's talk about this constituency really quickly. This is a constituency that Glenn Blakeney held previously for about 3 elections, and then he retired, and Diallo Raban came in. Diallo actually done better in that constituency as far as numbers. Look, this is an interesting one because you have a stalwart, someone who, a social justice warrior in Renee Webb, a proven cabinet minister as well, coming out to go against probably one of the most unpopular cabinet ministers in government in the Delaware Bay. So it's going to be very interesting. I mean, you've seen the school protest as well. Now, the thing is, though, whether or not his constituents will hold national issues against him. So this is interesting. This is interesting. All right, folks, if you've just tuned in, so we're going to go with Webb based on the audience. If you've just tuned in, this is the daily discussion brought to you by our friends over at Titan Tours and Secure Trucking. Also, we did announce, don't forget, our election night coverage begins tonight at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. We will be joined by former members of Parliament, Patricia Gordon Pamplin. We will have John Barrett. We have former Premier of Bermuda, the Honorable Dr. Ewart Brown. I had a hilarious conversation with him yesterday. He's looking forward to engaging. So you don't want to miss that. Also, we did announce this morning, not only will we be streaming on all of our platforms, we'll also be on channel 82 as well as the Royal Gazette. Just want to send some love to the Royal Gazette and channel 82 for making this happen. So you will get the best, most credible coverage with us. You want to remain with us through the night. We will be engaging you. We'll be doing some trivia and keeping you excited. We might actually help a person or two. We'll be very different. Maybe give you a dollar or two. All right. So make sure you stick with us tonight. Make sure you share it with your friends, your family, your colleagues, and be nice to our commentators. All right. Dr. Brown and John Barrett and Patricia Gordon Pamplin are very nice to donate their time. All right.
Absolutely.
Much too, sorry. Just because he's young doesn't mean his time's any less valuable. All right.
Very true.
C14. Let's do this. Get up to 18, and then we'll bring Simone in for the news. C14, Devonshire North, folks. We've got Kyle Bridgewater of the FDM. We've got Alexa Lightbourne of the PLP. We've got David Rogers of the OBA, and we've got Noel Young, Independent. Where are you going with this, audience? Where are you going with this?
Where are you going to go with this? I think this is another spicy one. Ooh, my vote is split between Kyle Bridgewater and David Rogers. Those are my two splits, I think.
Okay. We've got Taj Dongo Otterbridge says Lightbourne, likely to win, but too close to call, I think. KD Lama says Rogers. We've got Dejan Barterfield, my constituency. I think Lightbourne will win. We've got any independent, says Nicole Hassel. Aaron Scott says Rogers. Alexa Lightbourne says Kenton Trott. Noel Young, Polly Rich, Lightbourne, says Fox. We've got Kyle Bridgewater, Nicole Hassel, and we've got Rhonda Johnson saying Lightbourne, but interesting. I think consensus, I would go with Lightbourne as well. This is a seat that was held by Wayne Keynes, and prior to him, Glenn Smith of the One Bermuda Alliance, and prior to him, Paula Cox, the former premier. I think Lightbourne is going to get through in this. I think I'll agree with majority of the audience. If Wayne Keynes was still there, I probably would have went with Young. I'll say Lightbourne. So let's go to 15. C15. We've got PLP Owen Darrell, the Minister of Youth, Culture, Sport, I think it is, or Sport and Culture and Tourism. Willie Ferguson, Independent, and Malachi Simons of the OBA. What are your thoughts? Were we rocking with this, Mia?
I'm rocking with Malachi. I'm rocking with Malachi.
Malachi can win 15?
Yeah, I think he is. I think he's been sowing the seeds of change. And again, I think, he's been doing the work. I think he's really been doing
15.
Yeah. I think Malachi's going to win. I think it's going to be a surprising shakeup.
That would be probably, I like Malachi. I think he is representative of what we want in young people. But that would be the upset of, I'm trying to think of a bigger upset in politics. To win. That's such a PLP stronghold. I mean, he has to have so many things going for him to win that.
I think he does.
No, I mean people not showing up to vote. He needs things like that beyond his control. Like he needs people not showing up for the PLP. He needs people to actually flip and trust the OBA. That is as strong as you get PLP hold. That's why. Sheldon Fox says Daryl. Michelle White says Simons. Aaron Scott says Simons. Rhonda Johnson says Daryl. Simons, okay. People are rocking with you, Mia. Nicole Hassel.
Yeah.
Simons might have had a chance if it was independent, but Daryl will win.
Okay.
Simons, David Michael Wilson. Malachi says Ingham. Suzanne Ingham. Daryl or Simons having his one. You can't choose both, Hadleen.
There's no Swan in there. So
see what she did? Malachi says Teresa Marie. Malachi says Judy. Wow. Unfortunately, Daryl.
Okay.
We've got if Owen wins, they death vote in party. Kenton Trot, Daryl will win, but Simons will be close. Malachi. I have to go with what Mia said. Malachi.
I think Malachi is really in. Jamel, I think we're going to be very surprised. I think it's
wow. You all, this again, audience, this is not about who we want to win. This is about who we think will win, but you all think that, Malachi wins. So let's go through 16, 17, and then we'll come back. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Take a break. We've got to do the news with Simone. All right, C16. John Seymour, the OBA of the most entertaining campaign, probably. Michael PLP and Charmaine Riley Murphy, FDM. What are your thoughts, audience? Who do you think's got this? I mean, this is my former constituency, the only constituency I voted in.
Yeah.
Hands down, Michael Weeks.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Although I appreciate John Seymour's campaign. I liked it.
Oh, it was entertaining for sure.
He was talking about it, people were talking about it. I did appreciate it.
Percentage-wise, he just has too much to overcome. Mama says Weeks, Hadleen Swan Weeks, Dejan Butterfield Weeks, Rhonda Johnson Weeks. Weeks says Aaron Scott, but Seymour will get some votes. David Michael Wilson Weeks. Yeah, this is the biggest consensus. So we're gonna hit Weeks there.
Okay.
And then Pembroke Central. We've got Rolf Commission, Independent, Sophia Cannonier, OBA, Jason Hayward, PLP, Ricardo Nesbitt, FDM. What are your thoughts, audience? What are your thoughts?
They've got a lot to choose from in this constituency.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who do we think, Jamel? Who do we think?
I think the others will cancel themselves out in this constituency. I do think it will be Jason Hayward. I think Ralph Commission. Cool. Okay. Hayward says
sorry, your reaction just made me laugh.
Butterfield says Hayward, Hadley and Swan. We've got Hayward. Toss up though, David Michaelson. I think Hayward, but again, will be closer than ever before. Jason, Teresa Marie. So, all right. So let's do one more. We'll do 18.
Okay.
Oh boy, the biggie. Audience. We've got Nikki Garrett, OBA, David Burt, PLP, Omar Dill, FDM. Not about who you want to win. Who do you believe will win? Based on history, based on just everything. Who do you think? Again, I know how you feel about the premier, but who do you think's got this? Mia?
I really think Omar Dill has a real chance. Again, like similar to a Malachi Simons.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has a chance to really kind of turn the tables. So I think Omar Dill. I'm going to go with Omar Dill for this one.
I've been very balanced in my opinion in terms of not trying to share my opinions on people, but I think this is one of those things that may shock people, like 2012 when Paula Cox lost.
Yeah, I agree.
It's quite possible. And it's crazy because we've got Hadley and Swan says Bert, Rhonda Johnson says Bert, Umar says Jody Eve, Bert, David Michael Wilson, Bert, Sheldon Fox, Nikki Garrett says Nicole Hassel. Pray that Dill wins, Dorian. Bert, but will be close. Bert will win, but Dill will get votes. Bert, but hoping Dill wins. Dill, Aaron Scott, Dill, Michelle White, Bert. So I think Bert's gonna pull it off. I think this one could go either way though. All right, so let's do our checks, folks. So right now, this is our count right now. We've got 18 down. We've got 5 OBA, 10 PLP, and 3 independents. So we would say the PLP is on track to get about 20 seats. Yeah?
Yeah.
PLP is on track to get 20 seats, but we've got a long way to go.
We do.
We've got a long way to go. So let's bring Simone in for the news, daily news break. Thanks. I want to just give a shout out to our partners who oversee the daily discussion, and we'll come back and we'll get Simone in. Then we'll continue. We'll finish all of it. But audience, in the meantime, here's one of our activities we're going to be doing with you tonight as well. All right. So you want to scan this QR code. It's anonymous. You can scan that QR code. So take your phones and scan that code. And as you scan that code, it's anonymous. Just let us know who you think will win tonight. All right. Who do you believe will win the general election? All right. Scan that code. You've got a minute. All right. We're going to give some thanks to our partners for overseeing the discussion.
The daily discussion is brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Visit TitanEXBDA.com, your leading tour and transport provider specializing in Black History tours throughout the island. And SecureBDA.com for all your property management, waste management, residential, and commercial trucking needs. Professional, punctual, and reliable service is our commitment to you.
All righty. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. All right. Let's bring in Simone Vaughn for your Daily Hour news break.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Take Your Vote to the Polls Tuesday.
Oh, you singing about it. Okay. Well,
Get it, Simone.
Hold on. It's our first general election too. Oh my
I
goodness.
was just about to say, Simone, is this your first election?
What up?
Yep.
Wow.
Hey, this is like Mia and I's like 10th.
Second, Chanel, second.
Oh, this would be my, let's see.
Yeah, this is I've had a lot too.
I think I voted in 3 general elections in Bermuda, or 2. No, 3. 2000,
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
2007, 2012. No, sorry, I didn't vote 2012. 2007.
Yeah.
2017.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I've only voted in 2 general elections in Bermuda.
Oh wow, I voted in I think everyone since I was eligible to. Like, yeah, I think, and I'm only a young teen mom, so.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, myself as well. So, man, what you got for us today? Are you excited to go vote?
Yes, I am. I'm very excited. So, today's Daily Hour News Break is brought to you by People's Pharmacy. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, to start us off today, we have some news from the Bermuda Olympics Association Athletes Commission. The commission will be chaired by Dage Miners, and Olympian Tyler Smith will serve as vice chair. The official press release shared Mr. Miner's excitement for what is to come. Here it is.
Miner shared, I am excited to continue with the commission and be the chair for this new Olympic cycle. I have a lot of confidence in the commission and that we will continue to vouch for and represent our fellow athletes. Vice Chair Tyler Smith follows up by saying, we are looking forward to representing the athletes' voice to the BOA and delivering programs both on island and abroad that can benefit former and future athletes.
Okay, go on, Dage.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see, what's gonna come from this, and how they're gonna, do what they do. So next we have a FDM press release last week. The topic, FDM stands with the taxi industry. Here's what the release said.
The FDM stands in full alignment with the Bermuda Taxi Operators Association, the BTOA, and is committed to advancing practical, industry-led solutions that put decision-making power back into the hands of those who know the business best. The release also stated some of the simple changes the BTOA has proposed, which included the implementation of a centralized dispatch system. The taxi industry isn't just asking for change. They've done the work and presented real solutions, said Shalea Codrington, FDM candidate for Constituency 36. The FDM supports a regulatory model that grants the BTOA greater autonomy, allowing it to self-regulate just as other professional industries do. The BTOA has already taken steps to modernize by developing its own app, a move that the FDM fully supports and intends to champion.
I agree with that. I think that's like the education and tourism, like letting experts run their own industry. I actually think that's the way forward. So, yeah.
Yeah, same as well.
I hope that's one of those things that, regardless of who wins the election, they can take and implement. And I'm sure the public understands that and sees it as best too.
Right. Very much so. So today's the day that we will see some changes or we won't. So there's been speculation about women being valued in politics. And that is not a new topic for Bermuda, let alone, the entire world. As women have been fighting for equal rights and representation far before the 19th century. So as many can attest, it's never easy finding a seat at a table that was not built for you. So as the election season progresses, the question that seems to arise in various circles: are women in Bermuda's 2025 general election being valued? To get an understanding of this, one must gauge the situation in its entirety. Alexa Lightborn, a new candidate running for Constituency 14, says this.
This election presents an incredible opportunity for women in Bermuda. More women running means a broader range of perspectives and solutions being brought to the table. While challenges exist, history shows us that when women step up, communities respond. The key to success will be voter engagement. It's not just about having women on the ballot, it's about ensuring that voters see the value in electing leaders who represent their lived experiences and are committed to progressive change. This year, the PLP celebrates their landmark number of women candidates. Let's take a look at where they are placed. 6 of the PLP women candidates are running in constituencies previously held by the same women. 5 are running in seats that are currently and have previously been held by members of the OBA, while 2 women candidates are running in seats previously held by their PLP members who are not running again for this election. Altogether, 6 of the women PLP candidates are running for the first time. Alexa Lightborn continues by saying, I had to step forward to ensure that progress continues and that the voices of working families, young people, and seniors are amplified in the House. Representation matters. When women are at the table, the conversations shift and policies become more reflective of the diverse needs of our community. Women bring unique perspectives on issues like healthcare, education, and economic security, and ensuring gender balance in Parliament strengthens our democracy.
Optics.
Well, you might be right, but voter engagement is crucial for any election process. And in a country where the male ratio is 94 men to 100 women, it's the citizens' right to choose who and how they want to be represented. Communities for the most part have either been loyal OBA voters or loyal PLP voters. However, if we took away the party concept and elected individuals strictly based on the merit of their work, would we see a shift in who ascends to certain seats in the House? Would more women be elected?
In taking a look at the OBA stats, all 6 of their women candidates are running in constituencies that currently have PLP MPs. In the past couple of general elections, these seats have been rolling, meaning they have had other MPs, both male and female, from both parties. In the seats that have PLP members from the last general election, previous elections have had OBA members. Sophia Tessitore, a new face of the OBA and candidate running for Constituency 21, shares her thoughts about women in politics and the value they bring. There are key issues that women face, from workplace inequality to reproductive rights that deserve to be represented and spoken to nationally. In the House, women politicians have the opportunity to present and support bills that can improve the quality of our lives.
I didn't realize that all of the women running for the OBA are running in spaces that they don't have. Interesting.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. And on this matter, both parties are in agreement that women can bring a different dimension to Bermuda politics. So whether we will see hopes manifest with more women elected and a balanced representation in the House, we'll see tonight.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm watching that. I thank you for that story. Thank you for that. How's the weather look?
So the weather today will be pretty calm with temperatures ranging from around 61 to 63 degrees. However, it will be slightly windy, making it feel cooler around 53 to 56 degrees. Also, we expect a lot of cloudy skies, but maybe a few sun breaks here and there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you for that, Simone. Days of the year. I mean, it's election day. I mean,
yeah, it's also National Drink Wine Day, kind of going hand in hand with Election Day, and it's people might need some wine, and it's also eat ice cream for breakfast day. So if you find yourself at Scoops, as I often find myself, you can get some ice cream for breakfast on your way to voting. There you go.
You tell a person I don't eat dairy, but I eat ice cream. I got my coconut ice cream. So now after the show, I'm gonna just head downstairs and get me a little, Gee,
That's
right. Publicly, knowing that I'm gonna go get my fat boy on. But anyway, real quick, we got some people in the audience. Are you enjoying the game this morning, Simone?
I am. It's very exciting to see people's views and be like a genie almost.
Well, let's bring it back up because we've got some folks. How do I bring it back up? Oh, that's not what I meant to do. How do I put it back on the screen? Audience?
We'll figure it out.
You want to help a brother? All right. Here we go. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. All right. Nope, that's not it.
Oh.
No, that's not it.
We're getting there. It's okay.
Oh, here we go. All right. Here we go. All right. So let's show the audience. People were asking what we went through so far. All right. So we went through C1. The audience went with me.
Mm-hmm.
C2, interestingly, you went with an independent, Tiffany Painter. And C3, you went with Levita Fogo, staying there. And C4, you went with Minister Tanae Furbert. And C5, you were very split, but you went with Bean. And consensus in C6, Wayne Furbert. This was a close one, but you went with OBA's Robin Tucker. So that would be a flip, as well as C2, going outside, leaving PLP. So this is 2 to PLP would be down. We've got C8, that went with Ben Smith.
Mm-hmm.
C9, stuck with Wayne Vance Campbell, sorry, and OBA. We've got you all went with Sir John in C10. So looks, I don't know, but Sir John, you all went with. Chris Famous, you went with in C11. Craig Cannoneer, you went with in C12. And 13, you went with the Honorable Renee Tarini Webb. So that's another one the PLP would be down. C14, you went with Alexa Lightborn. C15, this is the most shocking one you all gave me. You went with Malachi Simons. I disagree. I cannot see a PLP losing that seat. But okay, you went with Malachi Simons. C16, you went with Michael Weeks. In C17, you went with Jason Hayward, but that was close. And C18, you all split because while you all wanted, you want Omar Dill to win, realistically, you believe David Burt will win. So right now we're at 10 PLP, 5 OBA, and 3 independent. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. And then we'll figure out, after that, we will figure out who we think was going to make up the government and the House. So we'll go through the final 18 seats. So, man, you going to stick around or are you going to go backstage?
I think I'm going to go backstage for this one.
All right. You go backstage and enjoy. We'll see you a bit later. All right?
All righty.
All right, so move on, folks. If you appreciated the conversation so far today, make sure whatever platform you're on, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, Instagram, give us a like, love, follow, share it. We're going to be back in about 3 minutes, 13 seconds. Do not go anywhere. Don't forget, we'll be live tonight, 7 p.m. Dr. Ewart Brown, Patricia Gordon Pamplin, John Barrett, Todd Fundalato, TDH team. We'll be streaming online on all of our social media platforms, our website, the Royal Gazette, as well as Channel 82. See you in about 3 minutes, 13 seconds.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
When it comes to footwear, we carry functional, comfortable, orthopedic and waterproof shoes. We have construction shoes, golf shoes, shoes for walking, shoes for boating. We even have shoes for pickleball. We have shoes for everyone. With brands by Skechers, Atrax, Propay, Easy Street, Nursemates, Clogs, Avenger, Cherokee, Cat, Frog Talk and DeWalt. The list goes on.
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Unlock your business potential with BDC's General Microloan, offering up to $30,000 for Bermudian small and medium businesses. Whether it's for inventory, working capital, or equipment, we provide 100% guarantee on approved loans. Simple application, low interest rates, and fast processing. Apply today and make your business dream come true.
The One Bermuda Alliance is committed to securing Bermuda's future. We believe the island can return to the prosperous place it once was for everyone. The only way to do this is through fiscal responsibility and creating opportunities for residents to thrive. We envision a Bermuda where our young people are valued and will want to build their futures. We are a team of diverse Bermudians who bring a depth of expertise across industries. We have what it takes to turn Bermuda around. Vote OBA on February 18th.
Bermuda Trivia, the Black History Edition, is now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Visit bermudatrivia.com or email contact@bermudatrivia.com to learn more.
Join us, the host of Bermuda's only dedicated talk show for live election night coverage on February 18th. We'll be joined in studio by former Premier of Bermuda, Dr. Ewart Brown, as well as former members of Parliament Patricia Gordon Pamplin and John Barrett, with political commentary from human rights activist Taj Donville Otterbridge. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. across the Daily Hour social media platforms and Channel 82. Election night coverage is proudly brought to you by Medical House and the North Shore Medical and Aesthetics Center.
All right, welcome back to the big show. Thank you all for hanging out with us this morning. The polls have been open for almost an hour. Look, get there early if you choose to vote. And but in saying that, welcome back to the big show. She's Mia Chambray. I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Folks, I just want to say this. I try to be very transparent with everyone. This morning, I did reach out to politicians on all sides who I have their numbers in WhatsApp. And I didn't just wish them the best, but I told them, you know me, I'm not going to hold my words. I said, I wish you the best, but I do hope that if you are successful, that you are, accountable, or that you do the work, the expectations people have of you. Look, I don't believe in all the flowery can't say that word. Flowery nonsense. I don't believe in that. I think, we have to be honest. I think we have a problem being honest in our community. We have a problem holding the people we love accountable. So every politician so far, and I'll be sending more messages after the show, who's received a message from me, knows that the same thing I tell them in private, I will say publicly. But regardless of side, whether it's PLP, OBA, independent, I truly do hope that if they get in, that they understand that the job that they're responsible for. This is not, as I said before, and I'll say it again throughout today and tonight, whatever the result is, it's not time to party.
No.
This is not about a celebration tonight, regardless of who wins or loses. This is not sport. This is real life. And for those who support one party or the other, who say people are not suffering, please don't tell people how they're feeling and how they're living. Because what you may not deem suffering, another may.
Absolutely.
But tonight, Whatever the result is, one thing that is true, we'll have to live with it. How we live with it, how we respond to it is on us. Let's get back to, this is not a game, by the way, folks. All right, so this is where we're at. We were at C18, where you all chose the honorable premier to retain. All right, C19. So let's just go back to the result. So right now we're at OBA has 5, PLP 10, FDM 0, Independent 3. All right, so C19 Pembroke West audience, what are your thoughts? Who do you think will pull it off in C19? This was held by Judge Adams from the PLP. I was shocked when he won that, but what are your thoughts?
I think Susie Arruda really has a very strong chance of winning this seat during this election. Okay. I also think Marcus Jones is a strong candidate and Josh Adams as well. But yes, it was shocking when he did win the seat in the last election. But I do think Susie Arruda. Mm-hmm. I think. Okay. I pick her.
Alrighty. So Mia says Arruda. Ellen Kate Horton says Arruda. Todd Alderbridge says Arruda. We've got Arruda, David Michael Wilson. We've got Susie Arruda, Nicole Hassel. We've got Arruda, WK Lama. We've got Arruda, just based on her excellent interview on TDH. We've got Susie. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? Arruda it is. Audience, you all right. Arruda is another independent that we're going to put in.
The audience and I were in alignment on that one.
C20. Now, this is an interesting one. We've got Vic Ball, former OBA candidate and senator, as an independent. We've got Michael Fay, his return to politics, OBA. And we've got Aisha Mustin, a newcomer for the PLP. What are your thoughts, audience? What are your thoughts?
I'm going to let the audience take one because I have a lot of thoughts on C20, but I'm going to let the audience take this one.
Audience, what are your thoughts? C20. Oh, wow. Okay. We've got David Michael Wilson says Ball. Okay. Thanks, Vic Ball. We've got Mike says Sean Smith. We've got Faye, WKD Lama. We've got Sheldon Fox, Faye. We've got Aaron Scott, Ball. Michael Faye, says Nicole Hassel. So I think Taj Donald Faye, but will be closer between him and Ball. Okay, so we're gonna go with Faye. Let's go with Michael Faye. All right. So before we go to C21, I saw something in the comments. Carl Azul says, "Oh my God, this kind of show was so much fun in 2020. Remember, I thought the pastor was going to win and got rid." Yeah, he predicted that Dr. Maria Seaman would actually, do well up in Constituency 27. And I'm not going to accuse Carla of drinking on the job or anything, but she got roasted because no disrespect to Pastor Seaman, but yeah, I think I was right in that prediction. But let's move on to C21. We've got how do you pronounce OBA? Sophia Tessitore.
Yeah.
We've got Curtis Dickinson in PLP. We've got Tyrone Butterfield Independent and Kelsey Thompson FDM. What are you thinking, audience? Who are you going with in this constituency? What are your thoughts?
I think Curtis Dickinson is going to be for the win. I think Curtis for sure.
Okay. Quayle says then Curtis. We've got Ellen Kate Horton, Curtis. We've got Curtis Dickinson, Polly Rich. Dickinson says Butterfield. Dickinson shot. Okay, this is a shoe in.
Yeah.
Lama. Rashawn says Dickinson. Okay, so yeah, let's click Dickinson.
Yep.
All right. So PLP is they're almost to that 18. Let's go back up. They're at 11. All right, 7 more. And
to be fair, Jamal, 18 and 20 are right on the line. So
again, they don't really have an if the PLP win 20 seats, they don't really have that advantage that they probably would want, right? Because you got to choose a speaker, and then you have that person like a Curtis Dickinson in the House who is not always going to vote PLP as he's shown, right? So this can be interesting, folks. Again, when you look at politics, regardless of what side you're on, the best case scenario for Bermuda would be that no one has a superior advantage, right? But let's go to C22. We've got OBA Scott Pierman, Rakai Emery, Independent, and Dawn Simmons, PLP. What are your thoughts, audience? Who are you going with?
Who do you think, Jamal?
We've got Sheldon Fox says Pierman. We've got Quayle says Pierman. We've got Ellen Kate says Pierman. We've got Dijon Butterfield says Rashawn, Xenotrot says Pyramid. All right, so it's Pyramid, a consensus again. All right, audience. Paget West, we've got in C23, Kim Wilkerson and OBA Jarian Richardson. Who you got, audience? Who you got?
Who do we think? Oh, I think this is going to be a really hard one.
I don't see Jarian Richardson losing this. This is a
I think it's going to be Jarian.
I think based on her own words, the minister Wilkerson saying that she's late. She hasn't had time to canvass or anything. So, yeah, I agree with Todd here. It'd take a lot for the OBA to lose 22 and 23. Ellen Horton says Richardson, Sheldon Fox. Rashawn says Richardson, but this would be close. On that Bell says Richardson. Okay, so we're gonna. This is interesting, audience. Okay, so let's see what we've got. We've got 11-8. So the OBA already has more than last time based on your selection so far. Okay, let's move on to C24 Warwick Southeast. We've got Lauren Renee Francis, Lawrence Independent, Lawrence Scott PLP, and Tariq Smith OBA. What are your thoughts, audience?
Yeah. What are everybody's thoughts here? Oh my gosh, this is again another one, another some strong candidates in this constituency.
Interesting. WKD Lama said Francis, but I think I have to agree with the consensus. Sean Smith and Shawnette Bell and Sheldon Fox and NTS and Jean Butterfield. I think Scott. I think Scott. I think Scott's got this. I think very highly of the little I know of Lauren Francis.
Same.
The sacrifice she made, but history shows this is Lauren Scott here. So, okay, the PLP holds that. Here's an interesting one. Now, if you know the history of C25, C25 is a seat that the former minister, Dale Butler, worked his pants off to make a PLP seat. It was held by the OBA. What's his name? Jeff Barron. For a bit, and then Curtis Dickinson won it back. Thea Wade hung on to it, and this one might be one of the biggest toss-ups. Justin Matthias, Independent, Joanne Ball Burgess, PLP, and Douglas DeCudo OBA. What are your thoughts, audience? How are you feeling about this one?
I think it's going to have to go to Dr. DeCudo, but I do think Justin Matthias is definitely going to be a tight run between the two of them. Okay. I definitely think Dr. Doug DeCudo will win this seat.
All right. Sean Smith agrees with you. He says Douglas. I don't know. Rashawn says this is a difficult one.
I agree.
Dejan Butterfield says DeCudo. We've got DeCudo says Quills. We've got Burgess Headley and I don't know. DeCudo says Nicole Hassel. DeCudo says Carl Azul. 25 is going to be tight. DeCudo will likely flip. All right. Douglas Mackay Johansson, sorry. Burgess says WKD Lama. Maybe DeCudo. So this is one that's a toss-up. I agree. DeCudo Matthias, toss-up, Sarah Scott. So I think the consensus little advantage would be DeCudo. All right.
Yeah.
So let's say the OBA flips that one. So now let's go. We're 12-9, folks. This is getting tight. Based on your answers, this is getting tight. All right. Let's move over to Warwick South Central. Constituency 26. I think that's Simone's constituency.
Yes.
Constituency 26. What are your thoughts? This is a seat that was formerly held by the Honorable Mark Bean of PLP, and prior to that, former Premier Dr. the Honorable Ewart Brown. Warwick South Central, C26. Well, we've got Tyrrell, says Shawnette Bell, Sheldon Fox, Sean Smith, Taj, Dunville Otterbridge, Aaron Scott. I mean, just goes on. This seems like nothing's going to change here. So let's just get Tyrrell in there. Not much conversation needs to be had.
Nope.
All right, another close one. Now, if you remember C27, Warwick North Central. So this seat was held by Colonel David Birch. Before that, this was held by R.W. Scott of the OBA. And it's one of those seats that traditionally Al James had it previously in the PLP, but it definitely can go either way. Paul Wilmot, a person of that community, Dion Smith, an entrepreneur, valuable candidate. What are your thoughts, Wilmot or Smith, folks?
Jeez. Again, I think some of these constituencies are going to be, within like a handful of votes. I think it's going to be really tight again.
Okay, well, let's see what the audience says. Says Wilmot. Smith says Aaron Scott. Paul says Sean Smith. Wilmot says Shawnette Bell. Wilmot says Jody Eve. We've got Wilmot, WKD Lama. Wilmot says Paulie Rich. Dion Smith. I actually think Dion Smith has a great shot.
I do too.
I honestly think Dion Smith has a great shot in this constituency, but audience, you chose Paul Wilmot. Wilmot. So no flip there. All right, this is another close one. Warwick West, C28. Now, Dennis Lister III shocked people in 2017 when he dethroned, I believe it was Jeff Sousa. No, they're coming hard for this constituency. Gavin Kennedy and Victoria Cunningham. Cunningham of the OBA and independent Kennedy. What are your thoughts, audience? Who takes this? Who takes this? We did see Dr. Karika Weldon. She is in that constituency, I believe, and she backed Kennedy. So this will be interesting. What are your thoughts? We've got Quill says Dennis Lister 3 for C28.
Yeah.
We've got Lister says Sheldon Fox. Lister Butterfield. Kennedy says Hassel. Cunningham will flip, says Taj.
Wow.
Kennedy says Alan Kate Horton. We've got a voter. Michelle White, congratulations. Just voted, family of 3. There you go. If you don't mind telling us, Michelle White. See, our team participates in the process. Lister, but Cunningham will flip it. Might actually flip. All right, audience. So we're going to stick with Lister. So based on the responses, it looks like the majority of Lister. So
I think it's a mixed bag, Jamel.
I would actually go with Cunningham flipping this.
Same.
But the audience thinks Lister will hold. So Lister.
We need
C29. That's where my immediate family is. Majority of my immediate family is in C29. We've got Andy Silva, PLP, and Dion Smith, the other Dion in OBA. What are your thoughts?
I think, again, this is one that can be flipped. I think Dion has a strong chance. I think he's been doing the work. So.
Okay.
Although Zane also is a strong, he's held on to the seat for quite some time.
Yeah, this seat was initially won by Zandy Silva, taken from David Dodwell back in 2007, I believe. Zandy Silva has turned this into a PLP stronghold. Honestly, cannot see Zandy Silva losing this. The Silva says Sheldon Fox, Zane, Aaron Scott, the Silva, David Michael Wilson, Zane's going to win. Zane, it's a consensus. So we'll give that to the PLP. Zandy Silva, you said. All right. Now, this is one of the most interesting seats. We have about 3 members of the TDH family. Mia, you don't have to answer this. This is your constituency. This is an interesting one, and I'll share why. Look, folks, you know I have my bias when I speak. I literally could not choose between these two. Fabla and I, even when we disagree, there's a respect that I have for this brother, as well as Dwayne Robinson. I really hoped these two people were not up against each other. I think they represent a new generation of progressive, forward thinkers. They are the biggest difference is where they sit politically. But this is going to be one of the constituencies, in my opinion, that may determine the election. So Misha Fabla, PLP, Dwayne Robinson, OBA. What are your thoughts, audience? We've got we think Robinson will flip, says Taj. We've got Dwayne Robinson, says Nicole Hassel. Too young for absolutely. These man, I wish these two were in different constituencies. Alan Kate Horton says tight Dwayne Robinson, NTS. Rashawn says this is my favorite one. Misha and Dwayne are exceptional, and personally, I wish they wouldn't have run against each other. Both need to be in, as far as I agree.
Yeah,
I agree, man. Looks like you all are going with Dwayne, though. Dwayne, okay. These are two fantastic candidates. I agree. If we want to see some sort of change within the Westminster system, but Dwayne, it looks like he flips this. Okay, let's move on to Southampton. Another interesting one. We have 4 candidates. We have 2 independent candidates in Karen Hodgkins and 1A Crockle. And then we have Linda Smith, OBA, Crystal Caesar, PLP. I personally believe that this one, the PLP will lose this. I believe they will lose this. What are your thoughts, audience? What are your thoughts?
I agree with you, Jamal. I think Juane Crockwell has a very strong chance of taking this seat. I mean, really strong.
Okay. Renee Crockwell. Who else, audience? What are your thoughts? Again, audience, if it's your constituency, feel free not to answer because we don't need people knowing who you voted for or not.
Yeah.
We've got Nicole Crockwell says, Nicole Walker, sorry, says Crockwell. Sorry about that, cuz. Michelle White says Crockwell. Juane Crockwell says Nicole Hassel. Crockwell says Quails. Crockwell says Alan Cake.
Wow.
Crockwell says, well, this is consensus.
Really? This is a landslide.
Crockwell likely, PLP don't stand a chance here. Wow.
Wow.
All right, so Juane Crockwell, another independent. All right, we're getting close, folks. Constituency 32, Southampton West. Now, this is interesting because if you know the history of this seat, the Honorable Mark Bean, this was held by former Speaker of the House, the Honorable Randy Horton, and Mark Bean. This is his home constituency. I believe he said that he won this seat internally in the PLP, but stepped aside to let Mr. Horton continue, if I remember correctly. He is running in this seat for the first time with the FDM. Scott Simmons of the PLP, who hopes to retain it, and Callan Lewis for the One Bermuda Alliance. Who do you have for this constituency, folks? Again, we're talking not who you want to win, but who do you believe will win? What are your thoughts? All right. Well, wow.
Wow.
Fox, Mark Bean. Mark says Sean Smith. Sean Butterfield says Bean. Callan Lewis says Kills. Okay. Bean says Aaron Scott. Mark Bean says Nicole Hassel. Simmons says WKD Lama. I think Mark could pull through, but PLP likely. Bean says Miss SD. Bean says that Mark Bean, Polly Ray. Wow. Okay. I think the PLP are likely to hold on, but you all saying Mark Bean, so that's an FDM. I think that's the first one you've given FDM.
First FDM.
C33. Eugene Dean, independent. Jamal Simmons, PLP. Dr. Christina Story, independent. Michael Swan, OBA. Who do you have, audience? Who do you hand? I would like to see any. Oh, I can't say that.
I think this could be an interesting one. I think this is another one where I think there's some really strong candidates, especially Eugene Dean coming in as independent. He has such a history and a legacy. I think him putting his name forward in this capacity. I think Jamal Simmons obviously has, a strong opportunity as well.
Let's go to the audience. We've got Sheldon Fox says Simmons. We've got WKD Lama says Dean. We've got Simmons, Sean Smith. We've got Simmons, Dijon Butterfield. We've got Simmons, Walker. We've got and Miss SD says Dean. We've got Simmons, Quails. We've got Jamal Simmons, Nicole Hassel. Another tight one, but PLP likely to hold, unfortunately. I agree with Taj. I think Jamal Simmons is the consummate politician. He is a canvasser. He does the things that he can tell you that he's working. Whether or not he's good at his job is another thing, but I think that he holds on because it's a PLP stronghold up in that area. So I'm going to say I agree with the audience, the consensus, Simmons. So he holds on there. 34, we've got Kim Wilson, PLP, Chris Gauntlet, OBA, Stephen Ferris, independent. 34, what are your thoughts, audience? Who takes this? Who takes this?
My goodness. I think this is going to stay with, I think this is going to go with Kim Wilson.
Yeah, I think this is, this might be Sanchez's constituency. But what are your thoughts, audience? We've got Wilson. Okay. Wilson and won't be close as Taj. All right, let's put Wilson in. Got Wilson. Okay. We've got two more to go. We've got C35. We've got Rodre Durant, OBA, Dennis Lister, PLP, Eugene Brangman, independent, and Christopher Bean, independent. Who you got?
Ooh. First of all, I can't believe we're almost at the end. This is crazy. What does everybody think?
We'll go do the survey, but what are your thoughts, audience?
What?
Well, looks like a clean house, Lister.
Okay.
Sheldon Fox, Dave Michael Wilson, Nicole Walker, Deshaun Butterfield, everybody, Lister. Okay, so
I think this is going to be tight, Jamal. I think Lister, but it could potentially be another shock.
Yeah, we've got Nicole Hassel says Christopher Bean. Again, for so many things have to happen. Like when we look at what happened when the OBA won in 2012, so many things had to work in their favor. For instance, a late replacement for John Gibbons, which Renee Ming went down in C2, and Kim Swan decided to win. That's what we forget. A lot of stuff has to happen. And then people not voting. So in order for the PLP to lose some of these strongholds, there's going to have to be something drastic. And that's why I just want people to think not on emotion, but realistically. And I think I agree with the audience. Dennis Lister will probably clean sweep that. And again, this is maybe not what I want to happen. It's just reality. But here's the final one. C36 audience. C36, Carl Neblett, OBA, Reverend Dr. Emily Gail Dill, PLP, Shalea Codrington, FDM, and Cyree Bean Independent. What are your thoughts for the final one? I mean, we just had a by-election for this one.
Yeah.
And it's the same amount of candidates. Will the result change?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was there when the by-election was occurring, and I would love to see Cyree Bean. I think he would be really fabulous. Obviously, the Reverend Dr. Emily Gail Dill, she retains a seat at the moment from the by-election.
Okay.
I think that again would be tight. I think.
All right, well, let's go to the audience. Neblett, David Michael Wilson says. We've got Taj Donville Otterbridge says Bean will take it this time. I think.
I agree.
Michelle White. Dill says Helene Swan. Quail says Bean Rashawn, Rev Dill Polly Rich, Bean Nicole Walker, Bean Rashawn, Bean Butterfield, Bean. All right. So it looks like you all are going with Bean.
Yeah.
So let's go and see what the total is. This is what you chose, audience. This is what you chose.
Wow.
Based on what you chose this morning, you chose the OBA will win 10 seats. The PLP will win 19 seats. The FDM will win 1 seat, and the independents will win 6 seats. Audience, based on what you've chosen right here, this is actually one of the best case scenarios for Bermuda. I know you're thinking, oh, well, PLP is going to win. Folks, 19. This literally will give the OBA, FDM, and independents an opportunity to prove to people that it's not about ego, it's not about party, but it's about Bermuda. Because this is essentially 1918. Sorry, I'm saying 1917.
Yeah.
Once the PLP appoints a speaker, it's 1817. That means that for the PLP to be aggressive in terms of passing legislation, everyone has to show up every week. They can't take trips or be out sick. The attendance has to be on point. This means that the Curtis Dickinsons and Renee Mings in the PLP come in even more handy because now there's close votes where they may object to what the premier or whoever's doing. They know the power truly lies with the people if this is the result, folks. This is legit. And we didn't pick this. You all picked this. Don't blame Mia and I. You can thank us, but don't blame her. But actually, to me, what are your thoughts on this, audience? You picked this. What would your thoughts be if this was the result? What would your thoughts be if this was the result? Like Mia, to me, this would be a best case scenario for Bermuda.
I agree. And I think some of those in there were very, very tight. So it could even be more for independence. Or it could even be swayed, like 1 or 2 seats could be taken from the PLP because there were some, for example, Omar Dill, Constituency 18. So I think it could be this is going to be historic, exciting, interesting. Well, I think this would be this would be one of the best case scenarios. I agree. Let's see what the audience has to say.
Ellen Kate Horton says, this would benefit Bermuda. Aaron Scott says, this is the people talking, change is needed. Taj Donville Otterbridge says, this is pretty close to my prediction, and this is a very good scenario for Taj, this will be a true. Everything Mia just said, like this would be a historic, incredibly great result for the Bermudian people. Because I'm telling you, folks, after tonight, I'm not coming for the politicians. I'm coming for all of you, because it's your job to hold them accountable. We talk about the last 6 weeks, this journey about voting, and you all love to talk about, oh, it's your democratic right, it's your civic duty. That may be true, but it's also your duty as a citizen or a resident and as a voter to hold them accountable. You don't just vote them in and just, okay, let them do. No, you've got work to do. Because if not, we're back in the same place in another 4 years. Let's go back to the audience. We've got Teresa Marie, as close to a coalition government as we'll get. Absolutely. This is a dream scenario.
Truly.
It is, because, again, I know, folks, you're probably thinking, oh, the PLP still wins. Folks, this is not a victory for the PLP like you think. Again, the speaker, take that out. They're down to 18. It's 18-17.
Yeah.
If you remember what's went on over the last 5 years, Curtis Dickinson, he's been an honorable man. Whether you like him or not, he's been an honorable man and going with conscience. This would be absolutely, I'm sorry, I pronounce your name, but Feven Benego Northcott. Sorry for apologies. But great comment. She says this would be a great scenario for Bermuda. Absolutely. Now, pick a PLP cabinet. Oh boy. Of the 19. You know what? Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll come back after this. Stick with us. Don't go anywhere. We'll do a daily play. We'll have some more fun, and maybe we'll pick a cabinet. Yeah, give us about 2 minutes, 30 seconds. We'll be back. But folks, in the meantime, do us a favor. Make sure whatever platform you're on, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, give us a like, love, follow, share with your family, friends, colleagues. Share this conversation with everyone. But also, don't forget, live at 7 p.m. tonight, we will be live with election night coverage. We'll be joined by Taj Dunn-Billotterbridge, John Barrett, Dr. Ewart Brown, Patricia Gordon-Pemberton, our entire Daily Hour team. We will be with you from 7 p.m. tonight, bringing you the best coverage. You will get the most engaging. And yeah, we'll see you in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Don't go anywhere.
Join us, the host of Bermuda's only dedicated talk show for live election night coverage on February 18th. We'll be joined in studio by former Premier of Bermuda, Dr. Ewart Brown, as well as former members of Parliament Patricia Gordon-Pamplin and John Barrett, with political commentary from human rights activist Taj Dunn-Billotterbridge. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. across the Daily Hour social media platforms and Channel 82. Election night coverage is proudly brought to you by Medical House and the North Shore Medical and Aesthetics Center.
Looking for the best care for your pets? Nova's Ark Feed and Supply has everything you need, from top quality foods to toys and supplies. We've got it all. Join our frequent buyer program and earn rewards every time you shop. Plus, we've been awarded the Clever Customer Initiative program for helping you save more. And don't forget, we open an hour early on Saturdays so you can get a head start on your pet care. Visit us today or shop online for easy pickup or delivery. Your pets will thank you.
Right. Who was the first woman to become not just the first female opposition leader in Bermuda, but throughout the entire British Commonwealth?
Dame Lewis Brown Evans.
Hey, buddy. Hun, who was the first woman to serve as opposition leader, not just in Bermuda, but throughout the entire British Commonwealth?
Dame Lewis Brown Evans.
Mason, what did you say?
Dame Lewis Brown Evans.
Dame Lewis Brown Evans? Where do you find that?
Mommy playing Bermuda Trivia.
Mommy playing Bermuda Trivia.
Oh, honey. I'm so proud of you. Good job.
It's true. Children are a reflection of their environment. Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Fun with a purpose. to educate, to entertain, to inform, to inspire, to learn, and to enjoy. Bermuda Trivia, all volumes now available at various stores throughout Bermuda. Visit bermudatrivia.com to learn more and follow Bermuda Trivia on your favorite social media platforms. All right, welcome back to the Big Show. Thank you all for rocking with us this morning. I just want to give a shout out to James, husband of the year, and Gunnar, our top dog. Man, we're gonna share some stuff. Gunner's getting ready to join Daily O one day, but Mia's incredible family. Mia's rocking with us today, tonight. Might have to cover 2 venues, but we appreciate everyone on our team. Teo in the background, Simone. Can't say enough about Maya. I tell her to take vacations, then I still bother her. But you may not see her, but she is working, man, doing the work. Sancha, my road dog, Sherry, making sure she's doing the voiceovers. Phil, who's going to be rocking with us behind the scenes tonight. Incredible team on TDH. Larry, he was under the weather. Keep him in your prayers, him and his family. Luckily, he got out to vote early. But we appreciate you, man. We really do. And your support for what we do is never taken for granted. You want to make sure you tune in tonight because we want to celebrate 5 years of doing this with you this April. So stick with us. We went through some results, but I just want to give a shout out to the BAC group of companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. And I don't say that lightly. We are extremely grateful for their financial support to do this. There's a lot of work that goes into this by all of the co-hosts, the reading, the research, the understanding of information to be able to come here and have conversations with you. It's not just about turning a computer on and going live. Their financial support means the world to us. So folks, if you want to support us by going to BAC, going to Medical House, going to Lindos, and going to People's. Help us, help you, help them, and the greater community. We appreciate their support. All right, let's do a daily pay. Yeah. It's time for Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right, here we go. Remember when?
Okay.
Prior to Renee Ming, who was the PLP MP in Constituency 1?
I don't know. Alex Scott?
Yeah, I thought that was an easy one. Dame Jennifer Smith.
Oh, Jennifer Smith. Okay, I did not know that. There we go.
A great name. There we go. Dame Jennifer Smith. Nope, PLP MP. Kenny Bascom was the MP prior to Renee Ming, but he was OBA, PLP MP. Mark Arthur C. Phillips says, I am late, but just got back from voting. Look at you all, man. Go ahead now. So let's go back. Let's go back to the all right. So audience, this is who you chose. This is who you chose. I don't agree with some of your picks. I don't agree. I'm just saying. I don't agree. But this is who you chose. Whether this is wishful thinking or not, this is who you chose. And for me, like many of you, this would be an awesome scenario for Bermuda.
Mm-hmm.
Now we had I want to give shout out to Amari Simons. He says, remember the no confidence motion in 2017. That's exactly what can happen in this instance. That's why the OBA, Michael Dunkley, had to call the election at that time, right after America's Cup or during, prior, whatever. Let me say this. I want to shout out to Amari Simons because he's the one who did this website that we just used this morning to do this prediction. So big props to the brother. Appreciate you. I know you weren't doing it for our use, but the audience appreciated Amari. Man, hey, we look forward to doing some work with you at some point like this, man. This was awesome. An awesome tool that you created to have some fun this morning. But we have a couple of questions. Michelle White asks, who becomes premier in this scenario? And that's an interesting question because it would be an opportunity for a no confidence vote by all MPs. You know, if David Brett doesn't have a certain amount of PLP MPs on his side, this can create something.
Wow.
So that's an interesting situation. Very interesting. Yep. See, Charles H. II. This would also who the premier is in question.
Taj says Premier will be no, Taj. That's what he says. He says that. That doesn't mean he will be Premier. The way this works, if these numbers look like this, people unhappy with it in his party can the PLP delegates can choose a leader, but the Premier,
yes,
that's chosen by in the House, brother.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, exactly. Charles is right. Are you sure about Bert being Premier? That would require every PLP member, of Parliament, voting for him, and that's not a shoe-in.
No,
that's not a shoe-in. This scenario literally could bring us a new Premier.
Wow.
And I think people need to understand this. This is an interesting scenario, audience.
Very.
Let me just scroll through it, Mia, while you give some final thoughts for the morning.
Gosh, my final thoughts for the morning. Wow. Well, first of all, I'm so grateful and thankful to be part of this historic moment with all of you. I feel like we're on the precipice of greatness and real change in Bermuda. So it's really wonderful. I'm actually going to go and vote after this. I just need to figure out where my voting pool is. I'm going to have to Google it because I'm not 100% sure. But I think that the results would be this would be a fantastic result for Bermuda to have this type of numbers in the House. And I think it would be a true representation of Bermuda, and we'd really get some things done and get the work done and really turn this ship around for a greater Bermuda and Bermudian greatness that we all know and that we all are. So I think this would be amazing. And thank you, Amori, so much for putting together this morning and for the audience participation. It's been quite exciting to see who we all think and some surprise candidates who have been put forward to really do some shakeups. I think I'm so excited about this election. I haven't been sleeping the past few nights because I'm so excited about it.
Oh, I'm sleeping well. Yeah. No, I'm joking. No, I think we're finally at the end of the journey, and let me just go right back up, and we'll share the audience. We'll share this on our social media so everyone knows who the Daily Hour community chose. But again, 10 OBA, 19 PLP, 1 FDM, 6 independents. We got 6 independents. That would be historic. I mean, historic. We're talking 1989 on a totally different system. Would be historic. But I want to say, go to some comments real quickly. We've got Teresa Marie, party leader. But isn't party leader given it pretty much is right now. I mean, but again, the Premier would be different in terms of the House if it ended up like that. I remember, if I'm not mistaken, Kim Swan tried that with Dr. Ewart Brown. If I'm not mistaken, he attempted something in similar. But Dr. Brown had the support of his fellow MPs. Sahima Mank says he support Dickinson for Premier. He's still one of the most respected members of the party, at least in the community. Sahima Mank. Vernon Temple says Mia. That's your
that's my place. Yes.
To vote. Taj Donville says the best politician wins. David is far better a politician than the others among the PLP. What do you mean? I don't know what he's referring to. All right, let's wrap it up. I'll say this before we head out, folks. You don't want to miss tonight the coverage that we're going to have. We will again be on channel 82 for those who want to watch on TV. We will be streaming on all of our platforms, our website, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, probably for an hour or two on Instagram as well as X. And we will be streaming on the Royal Gazette. So you have options to be tuned in to our coverage. Mia, do you have any daily inspiration for the folks before they head out to vote?
I do, actually. The inspiration there were so many things I was researching this today, but I thought this one really struck a chord with me, which is the people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do.
Mm-hmm.
That is by Steve Jobs.
There you go. Got him out, love us some Jobs. Folks, don't forget, go to this, scan this, it's anonymous. You can scan that. Let us know who you think will win. Let us know who you think will win. Just scan that from your device and it'll take you to a survey. We'll be doing a lot of engagement and interactive stuff like this tonight, folks. Scan that, keep it up. and make sure that you participate with us tonight. We've got Sonia Clark says, I'm just having a moment. Jamal, your mother would be so proud of you. Balanced show. I appreciate watching today, and I thank you, Sonia. I just wish I had some sensational delights to enjoy the night. You know, my team will be around. Maybe we'll get some sensational delights to eat throughout the night. Thank you, Sonia. Appreciate you very much. All right, folks. Look, we've got a rule. We've got a lot of preparation to do for tonight. I am so grateful for you trusting us. Don't forget, if you haven't already, make sure you give us a like on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, repost it. Love it. Subscribe to our pages, follow our pages, like our pages, share our content. We are, so grateful to have you. Don't forget to just show us love, man. Go on our website, put your email in. Trust me, we haven't sent an email in over a year. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC group of companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you at 7 p.m. Atlantic, or as you say, Bermuda time tonight. You don't want to miss our coverage. Let's make it the best, most streamed, most watched, most engaging coverage Bermuda has ever seen. Folks, she's Mia Chambray. I'm Jamal Hartman. Please do make it a lovely, safe, and great day. See you this evening. We are is out. Peace.